Hello all, it's me, the old deplorable basket case. I want to talk about the upcoming elections in 2020 and why I think this will be the year of the third party. Now, in 2016, we did see a number of smaller parties trying to make their way into the elections, and some of them actually did a lot better than some people expected. Obviously, as the election went on, their chances dropped because as elections draw on, people start thinking less about voting for who they think would do well and voting against who they don't want in office. Now, we could have there are a lot of people who've had a lot of discussions about whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm not going to get into that. But the point is, some of these third parties started with as much as 15% of voters saying they were in favor of these parties. Now, and so I think in 2020, it is quite possibly we'll see a fracture in the Democratic Party, and this fracture will lead to a third party becoming a real contender in the election. Now, I say this because this is actually this is actually a pattern in American politics. This has happened before. In the early 19th century, with the downfall of the Federalists, for example, and then in the late 1850s, with the downfall of the Whigs and the rise of the Republican Party, and in the turn of the 20th century, there was something similar, although with the socialists, because there was a great deal of turmoil in the country over the labor movement. And so the socialists actually made a very strong showing, but they failed to supplant the Democratic Party. Now, all these happened in times of a great deal of political turmoil, and there were some very specific issues that were really dividing the country. And one party or the other just failed to address those issues to the satisfaction of the voters. Now, to say the Democratic Party is failing to satisfy their base is, I think, at this point, a little bit of an understatement. And the party is fracturing into two very different groups: the establishment Democrats and the more far left socialist Democrats. So I truly believe that we will see a third party showing a very showing very strong in the election. Will the Democratic Party actually fracture? Will it actually fall and a third party rise to supplant it? It's possible. I think that will happen. If not this election, then soon. But I'm not Nostradamus. I don't predict the future. So, well, I kind of am doing that. But I don't mean like I'm not pretending to be psychic or clairvoyant or anything. Just based on history and patterns in our political process, this is what I think will happen. And of course, looking at the situation as it is now. So if you really want the Green Party, for example, to make a strong showing in the election, this could be your year, okay? Anyway, so that's my 2 cents. Thank you for listening in. Please comment with anything you have to say. I'd really like to know what you think. And that's all. Have a good night and God bless.